Hello guys, how are you doing? Now, as I said in the last video, today we're going to talk about the three kinematic equations that describe the motion of any uniformly accelerated object. So, what are these three equations of motion and how are they important for us? Well, let's explore that in this video. So, there are two main points that you should know about these three equations. First is that these equations essentially relate four physical quantities: velocity, displacement, time, and acceleration. The first equation of motion relates velocity, time, and acceleration. The second equation of motion relates displacement, time, and acceleration. And the third equation of motion relates velocity, displacement, and acceleration. Now, as you can see, acceleration is common in all the three equations. So let's drop that for now, and we obtain the name for the first equation as velocity time equation. The name for the second equation like that would be displacement time equation, and the name for the third equation would be velocity displacement equation. Now, the second important point about these equations is that they are only valid for those objects that are experiencing a constant acceleration. Or in other words, these equations are valid only when the value of A is a constant. Now, this also means that if the value of acceleration is 0, or in other words, if an object is undergoing uniform motion, even then these equations would be valid because 0 is also a constant value of it. But under no circumstances can the value of acceleration change during the course of the object's motion. If that happens, these equations won't be valid. Great! So now that we are clear about these 2 points, let's go ahead and see what these three equations are. So the first equation of motion, or the velocity time equation, is nothing but v is equal to u plus at, where v is the final velocity of the object, u is the initial velocity of the object, a is the constant acceleration it is experiencing, and t is the time duration. The second equation of motion, or the displacement time equation, is s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now here, capital S is displacement, u is initial velocity of the object, t is time taken or time duration, and a is the acceleration experienced by the object. And finally, we have the third equation, which is also called the velocity displacement equation. Now this is nothing but v square is equal to u square plus 2as, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the constant acceleration, and s is the displacement of the object. Now, in order to prove these three equations, we need to imagine a simple scenario where an object experiences an acceleration a meters per second square for a time duration of t seconds. Now, due to this, its velocity changes from u meters per second to v meters per second in the same time interval. So, at time equal to 0 seconds, its velocity is u, and at time equal to t seconds, its velocity becomes v meters per second. Now, if I draw a velocity time graph representing the motion of this object, it would look something like this. You can clearly see at time t equal to 0, its velocity is u meters per second. At time t equal to t seconds, its velocity is v meters per second. And a straight line in a velocity time graph shows a uniformly accelerated motion. The slope of this line would be the acceleration. Now, once you understand this velocity time graph properly, deriving the three equations of motion is pretty easy. So the first equation can be directly obtained using the formula of acceleration itself, which is a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Now, because this is a constantly accelerated motion, this formula would give me the correct value for acceleration. Apart from that, you can also think of this as an equation for the slope of the straight line. We know that in a velocity time graph, slope represents the acceleration. So in any case, my expression comes out to be a is equal to v minus u divided by t. Now, once I rearrange this, I get at is equal to v minus u, or v is equal to u plus at. So this is our first equation of motion. Now, the second equation of motion is the displacement time equation. So here we are supposed to relate displacement with time. So tell me guys, how do we calculate displacement from a velocity time graph? Well, if you recall from one of our previous videos, then in a velocity time graph, displacement is nothing but the area under the plot or area under the graph. So in this case, the area under the straight line that represents this object's motion would give us the value of displacement. Now for the ease of calculations, we'll divide this area into two parts. One would be the area of the rectangle at the bottom, and the second would be the area of the triangle on top of it. Now if you carefully observe, the length of the rectangle is nothing but d units, the width of the rectangle is nothing but u units, the base of the triangle is also t units, and the height of the triangle is basically v minus u units. Now we can write the area of the rectangle as length multiplied by width, which in this case comes out to be ut. Similarly, we can write the area of the triangle as half base into height, which in this case comes out to be half times t times v minus u. Now the total displacement of the object would simply be ut plus half times t times v minus u. Now to simplify the expression on the right hand side, we'll replace the value of v from the first equation of motion, which is v is equal to u plus at. Now once I put that value, the expression inside the bracket becomes u plus at minus u. U and u gets cancelled and we have only at left. So if I rewrite the whole thing once again, I get s is equal to ut plus half at square. Now that's the second equation of motion, guys. Now the third equation of motion is a velocity displacement equation, guys, which means we are supposed to relate velocity with displacement, and there is no variable of time involved. Now pay attention. The first equation of motion is velocity time relationship. The second equation of motion is displacement time relationship. So if I am able to eliminate time using the first two equations of motion, I should be able to get a relationship between velocity and displacement. So let's give it a try. So here I have the first and the second equation of motion written in front of me. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to obtain an expression for time t from the first equation and then substitute the value of t into the second equation. Now once I do that, the variable t would be completely eliminated and I'll only have u, v, a and s to play with. Let me show you how I do it. So from the first equation, I can get the value of t as v minus u divided by a after small rearrangements. It's very easy to understand how I get there. Now once I put that value of t into the second equation becomes s is equal to u times v minus u divided by a plus half times a times v minus u by a whole square. Now you can observe that the variable t is completely eliminated here. Now the right hand side of this equation might look complicated and scary, but let me assure you, it's a very easy expression to solve. First of all, let's cancel one of the a terms and then take the entire LCM as 2a. This makes our numerator 2 times u multiplied by v minus u plus v minus u whole square. Now after that, if I open the brackets, my entire expression becomes 2uv minus 2u square plus v square plus u square minus 2uv divided by 2a. Just try and understand how I got that. Now, after doing some more mathematical manipulations, our equation essentially becomes s is equal to v square minus u square divided by 2a. Now, if I cross multiply 2a, I'll get 2as is equal to v square minus u square, or simply v square is equal to u square plus 2as. And that is nothing but the third equation of motion, guys. Now, a very important point that I should tell you right now is that all the vector quantities present in these three equations, which are initial velocity u, final velocity v, acceleration a and displacement s, should be substituted with their proper signs. Or in other words, we have to take into account the directions of the vector quantities when we put them in these equations to get the answers. And with that, we have derived all the three equations of motion. But I'm sure you understand that knowing their mathematical proofs is not enough, and we have to learn how we can apply these equations in real life physical problems. So in the next video, we'll do precisely that. We'll solve some problems based on these three equations of motion. For now, let's summarize whatever we have learned so far. The three equations of motion are v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2as. V is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the constant acceleration, and s is the displacement of the object. The first equation of motion is also called velocity time equation. The second equation of motion is also called displacement time equation, and the third equation of motion is also called velocity displacement equation. The three equations of motion are only applicable for those objects that are moving under a constant acceleration. The value of acceleration can be 0 or a non-zero number, but the bottom line is that it should be a constant value.